Welcome to EdTech Tuesday. I'm Rich Dixon.
And I'm Jennifer Gibson.
Jennifer, you have a really interesting resource
I
to
do.
show us. It's called ThingLink. Tell us about it.
Yes. So, okay, Rich, you want to make interactive images.
Okay.
How do you do that?
Well, I would assume that it would take a lot of skill, expensive software, and a lot of time.
No, we're going to go to ThingLink and show everyone how to do that. Okay.
ThingLink.
Yes,
okay, let's do
it's a
it.
ThingLink.
All right.
So, first of all, I'm going to go ahead and log in. Okay, so now I'm logged in, and basically you can create an account with your Facebook or your own email, and the whole idea behind ThingLink is to be able to take images and create interactive experiences within those images.
Okay.
And to best tell my story, I think we'll go to browse. Now, I don't recommend that you have your students browse because some of the content may be inappropriate.
Okay.
Okay, so this is an adult experience that we're watching right now, but I want to show you the image that ThingLink created for the holidays. So as you can see here, this is called Happy Holidays from ThingLink. And they've created these little icons within the image. Now, you don't have to have an icon. You can have just a spot. But they had these as a free little thing. And there's free and fee within ThingLink. So when you go to one of these, it tells you this is a music from Spotify that you can actually play. And over here, this is actually all of a playlist, a 1-hour play mix that you can put on. Here's techie gifts for the geek. And then here's like a little thing from, guess what? The Grinch Who Stole Christmas. And then over here, this is just kind of a little imagery thing that they have. So while that's fun, let's take it to the educational realm. So I'm going to go back over here to my account. And you can see, yeah, here's Jen Gibson. And I have an image I created. I did this a little earlier today. And I was in Washington, D.C. not too long ago. And I had this particular image. And I thought, wow, this was an interesting image. You know, you see all the flags. I went ahead and put these spots within the image. And so this says the John F. Kennedy Center for Performing Arts. That's where I actually am. And so if students want to learn more about it, you see how I posted it at the top? Learn more about this. You can click and it takes you to that link. Over here, I ask a question. Why is marble building material used for public buildings? And then there's this whole thing on marble. And so they could go and explore and kind of problem solve. Why would these public buildings use this marble? Is it just for aesthetics? Are there other reasons? So, you know, you can think through these. So let's try one together because I always think that's a fun way to do that. Let me go back to me and I can go add a new image. Now, as you see over here, I can go to Facebook. I can go from, you know, a link or a thumb drive or something like that. Okay, so I went ahead and brought in a photo, and this is of Half Dome. So let's say you're going to create a ThingLink using this particular photo. And this is actually one of my own photos. We climbed Half Dome. And so what you can see here is I can click to add a tag. So if I click up here, I grabbed a URL, and then I can go ahead and type in some text about this particular URL. So I typed in this particular.
Sounds like good wisdom.
Yep. So now I've set this particular spot in the photo for students to look at. And so then down here, once I find a URL that I want to use, I can go ahead and just put that right in there. And save that tag. So it's very easy to tag, and you can tag throughout the whole photo, creating a photo interactive journey, so to speak, about Half Dome. Maybe you're doing a national parks unit or a 50-state unit. Well, students could have this as an assignment where they can go and tag different websites that help support the image. And as you saw in the ThingLink holiday one, they have video and music and all kinds of different things that you can put in there. It also works with Flickr, YouTube, Vimeo, and a number of other sites.
Well, I could see this being very helpful as well for certain field trips where
Yeah,
students are
yeah.
actually empowered through using their smartphones or their cameras, depending upon your school's policy on allowing those on field trips, to be able to help create a fuller single
ahead and save
location
this.
with all of the different bits of information they've collected in photo form.
Well, and once you've finished it, you can go back and edit, or you can share it. And you also see the view stats on this particular photo. So again, I caution use with younger students actually having them have access to the website, because there are things that aren't necessarily appropriate.
As a teacher, you could put it
But
together.
you as a teacher, you could navigate and help work with them together. And you also can go ahead and share this with them. And you can see there are different ways to share these particular images. And so ThingLink has a lot of different applications. I think it's something that could be quite fun and very educational.